Hey, everybody. Happy Monday, a victory Monday for Ohio State. We are at Roosters, as always, in the Horseshoe Lounge for a fun, casual chat and a fun, casual joint. Ohio State, a 52-21 winner over the Badgers of Wisconsin in the Big Ten opener on Saturday night.
Seems like it was really close to the score.
Oh, Nicole, how about that? Yeah,
she didn't even want to
Hold on, it took 17 seconds.
17 seconds.
Yep.
Oh, that's Justin Zwick, Bobby Carpenter, and hey,
Nicole, yeah.
Wow. We were getting texts from her in the middle of the fourth quarter. I was like, I'm getting ready to publish Snap Judgments.
Snappy Jays?
Did I do something wrong? Yeah, some Snappy Jays were about to go live. I'm like, who's texting me? Did I do something wrong? No, it was just Nicole. And, hey, do you guys know what the score is?
Literally was almost spot on. It felt so good. And I didn't even gamble or anything.
You should have. Nicole's gambling advice pays off again.
I mean, I felt good about mine halftime. It was 31-13. I mean, 35-7. That's pretty close, right? Or 31-7.
Yeah.
Feel good about that.
We were all somewhat in the
for your halftime,
but
that was just the halftime score.
That was my total score. And
yeah,
it was 31?
Yeah, okay. It's easy to say
Jeez,
that.
Bob, you idiot. I can't believe you wouldn't have them scoring 52 points against Wisconsin.
I just feel so great about it, guys. I just feel so great.
After watching, I didn't know our offense would rush the ball for 250 yards.
Yes, I know. That was awesome.
I know they had W's on the side of their helmet, but it looked a lot more like Indiana than Wisconsin.
Yeah, they did a good Indiana impression.
I mean, it was unbelievable. I talked to Cade about it today, and it's they good up front? He's like, they looked good on film. And it's like Foskey, far better than the guys that we were seeing out there because they
didn't have it.
They didn't have it that night. They didn't come to the shoot ready to play.
They didn't have it. And that's why I'm like, they've always been tough.
Oh, yeah.
Even if they were beat up in the secondary, maybe they didn't have the skill guys, but the front seven was always tough.
You always expect them to give you something.
Yeah, it's one thing if you get them with some speed or whatever, but you're not just going to line up and
typically,
holes that are as wide as this table.
Yes.
So I'm watching Mayan run through them. There's not even anyone around him.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the rest of the Badger front?
And then once they got there, Mayan Williams just put them right on the ground.
Yes, because that's how
but
he
when
does
you have
it.
5 yards,
My guy.
But when you're not getting hit until you're 5 yards downfield,
yeah, you got it going by the time you get that first contact, right? You're ready to lower a shoulder and really get into somebody there.
Any back will tell you if they can get through the line of scrimmage without having to make a cut, they feel good about it. And he's 5 yards past the line of scrimmage before there's anyone even in sight.
Well, Nicole knew that was coming.
I guess.
So did you have to do do you have an extra drink to celebrate on Saturday night or what?
I was just so excited. As I watched the score, I was like, this is getting really close to what I picked. And then I was so upset because originally I picked 54-21. So I would have been spot on. And then I changed it to 17. But that's okay. It's still really close.
Who talked you out of that? None of us did.
No.
We just deferred to
it
your
was
judgment.
my gut.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was a gut. She went with her gut.
Yeah. And again, for my score pick this week, I went with my gut. So it's a challenge score. It's going to be a little difficult to hit. But guys, I'm feeling
It's
it.
a challenge. An ambitious.
Scoregami.
It's ambitious for Ohio State.
I can't wait to hear it because Rutgers score predictions. That's my favorite.
Well,
favorite
yes,
time of the year.
You love
exactly.
Rutgers.
I love getting ready.
Austin loves Rutgers.
How they lost to Iowa is beyond me.
How does anybody lose to Iowa?
Well, you know why? Because Iowa
defense
they scored 14 points. Their defense has scored more than their offense.
That's insane.
This year, 4 games in, this isn't like a one-off. Ridiculous.
The Iowa defense scores 14, the Iowa offense scores 13, and Rutgers scores 10. Quite a battle between.
If they just wouldn't have thrown the pick six, the under would have cleared easily. Felt good about everything, but instead just giving the ball away.
So, let's get excited for Rutgers week. We'll get to that, but we have to start as we always do with some Roosters Buckeye leaves.
Yes.
And so the notebook, of course, is full over here.
I do. I have the notebook today. I'm going to pick Tanner McAllister.
Ooh.
I just really like this guy. I love the fact that he followed Jim Knowles here, brought some seniority, I guess, for the Buckeyes because he has the experience. But in my mind, he played incredible on Saturday, just with the interception, with the blocked pass in the second quarter. I mean, he came from the middle of the field all the way over the sideline and block the pass. Anytime you see that, it's very exciting. So
that's how you get in Nicole's notebook.
Yep. That definitely, I like those kind of plays, where you
Flash.
So he's my Buckeye leaf this week.
Okay, Tanner McAllister.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Bouncing back from injury.
Yeah, bouncing back, making a big play, big splash there to get the defense going early in that game. It's a good pick. I'm going to go on the other side of the ball, and I'm spreading the love today to the big boys up front. Because as Bob talked about, when you're able to go out and have 250 yards on the ground, you can pretty much do anything you want to on the offensive side of the ball. And, I mean, you talked about the holes that they were opening for these guys to run through, but no pressures, no sacks on CJ. When you can run the ball like that and then say, oh, CJ, you're going to have plenty of time back here to dissect this defense and do what you want. I mean, it's a scary thing. So those guys up front seem like they're gelling, coming together. I mean, Wisconsin typically is a team that is going to give you something up front in that front seven. They didn't come to play like we talked about, and our guys took advantage of it. They didn't lower down to anything. They played their game and opened those holes up, and just a monster game by those guys. And we're going to need them as this,
Not this week.
Well, not this week, but as the year goes on. I mean, it's going to be important to have those guys feeling good, feeling confident, and gelling together. So it's a good thing to see in the first Big Ten game this year.
And after watching last, I don't know if we'll need them next week either. I mean, Michigan State doesn't look like anything to write home about right now. I mean, they've got issues, but there's a couple different ways.
Did Mel Tucker's contract come with a money-back guarantee?
No, it was a blood oath. I mean, they signed that thing.
Done.
I mean, yeah, it was.
So why did they not? I'll let you give your Buckeye leave. Why did they not just let Mel Tucker? Like, let's wait 5 days until he plays Ohio State and let's see what happens before we give him $95 million.
Is Jimmy Sexton his agent? Dude, they were going at it hard, man. Listen.
It was a good offseason for Jimmy Sexton.
It was. Oh, listen, Coach, when you get a nice little rake on some of those contracts, I mean, we get into all that other stuff. But mine.
Sorry, that's my fault.
So I said Thursday night.
Yeah.
My bold predictions, what they called?
Your hot take.
Brian hot takes or whatever. And I said, because I didn't know if I'd be able to pick just one linebacker. Because I didn't know who it would be.
Sure.
So I said collectively I thought they'd have 30 tackles. Now, they only had like 23 or something like that. But it reminded me in 2004 when AJ got me thinking about it. He had like 17 or 18 tackles or something, tied or set the record at that time. And it just got me thinking, like, that's where I thought this game would kind of be, because they're not really going to be able to throw it a ton. And, Tommy's been playing really well, so is Steele. But Tommy Eichenberg, what do you have, 14 tackles? 14 tackles. Like, and I keep going back because there's so many people out there in the world.
Out there,
everywhere.
America.
Out there.
Listen up, America.
People who pen words for a living and think that they know things about football and all these things, that tried to besmirch the linebackers last year as if they weren't good, couldn't get it done. People called Tommy Eichenberg slow. Steele doesn't know what he's doing. Like, all this crap. They're playing awesome. And every week it's like a different dude just stepping up and playing fantastic. And so I could give it to Cade, former linebacker, playing tight end and just dominating there. But, and he lives with Tommy. I mean, so they're boys. So they can share those. They can steal all three of them together, 3 little peas in a pod. But Tommy Eichenberg was absolutely fantastic. Like, I hope people are appreciating how good he is, and remember the hate bombs. You keep the receipts. I might spend on the bye week.
When he's drafted this year, don't come back and be like, that was my guy the whole time. Like, no, you trashed
I'm going to come back. And some of the people who covered this team locally, none here, but some people just sitting there, he can't do it. He can't run. They're just bad. Oh, I'm going to go. I'm going to find them. I'm going to find the mean tweets.
Expose the mean tweets, yeah.
Cold takes exposed.
Yes. There were a lot of them that were sent directly to me, so
yes,
that might help us.
Tommy, really good. Steele, really, all of them.
Yes.
Cade, good. At another position now. I'm like, these guys just
on the other side of the ball.
They just hadn't played. I mean,
like he's been doing it forever, because he's awesome at that tight end position. I mean, he's a weapon.
That's what Albert Burgos. It looks like he texted me. He's like, he looks like. I've been telling him about Cade. I'm like, listen, man, in practice, this dude runs routes really well, and he's faster than what you think. Yeah. And he gets out there, and it's like, this guy looks like he's been playing tight end his whole life.
Oh, I know, yeah.
I'm like, he's an NFL tight end. Yeah. He's a good player.
He keeps this up, he's going to be a first picked.
I mean, he's good. Like, he's a first top 3 round guy, I think, if he continues to improve. So, Tommy, a little sliver to his 2 roommates, Steele and Kate as well.
I wish you were
just one for the house. Just a Buckeye leaf on the house.
Put it on the sign.
Put it on the front door.
Yeah, we'll just take this sign over there and put it on the house. We actually, Berm and I were invited over there.
Oh, wow.
I think we might take them up on that at some point, because we're very curious about what happens inside that house.
In the house?
With those 3 people who don't want to say anything in the world. They've apparently got a nice little Monday going. Smoking.
Steele's mom says he talks a lot once you get to know him. But I'm like, I've known him for a couple of years, and he does speak some, but not. I wouldn't define him as like boisterous by any stretch.
No.
He's not a chatty Cathy.
I think maybe he was more loquacious before he.
I like that word.
All right.
Before he moved in with Kate and Tommy, who are like, hey, say less.
They're talking.
Say less.
We don't talk here.
We don't talk here.
We're going to give you an audition. Come hang out with us for one night. You talk too much. You can't move in.
That won't work. I tried and I guess failed to get an answer. I was, wanting Tommy to open up a little bit. So just a little. Like, how does it feel?
Does he even smile after?
No, he doesn't. He stands there and he looks at me and he engages and
He looks
thinks
at
about
me.
how much he's going to say, because I'm like, hey, you played great. You had 14 tackles, but beyond that, like, how do you physically feel after? Like, do you hurt now?
Yeah.
Or are you not going to hurt till tomorrow? He's like, I'm tired.
He's amazing.
I love this kid.
So Bob, what is it
I love him.
like? What does that feel like on your body when you have to go make that many tackles?
When you're young, you feel a lot better than you would when you're older. But it's a physical pounding. But like the good news, like he's a guy that was getting in space, running and delivering the blow. But you still wake up the next day, your shoulders hurt, your arms, you got all these bruises and everything. You don't know where they came from, just because it was. Normally that would be like a physically violent game. It was a lot more hammer nail than I thought it would be. But you just wake up, neck sore, shoulder, back, all this stuff. You got to walk your way out of it.
Every Sunday.
You work through it
It's
on
like,
Sunday, cold tub,
bruises
hot tub.
come from?
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like it hurts pretty bad. But, so he played great. But I'm tired. Well, yeah, you're tired. I know that.
That's awesome.
But
I was looking for just a different way.
Just something, yeah.
You
were trying to just get him to talk
You
about
don't have
something.
to say how good you are or say that you're going to win the Buckeyes.
Why do you
Will
like
you be
football,
Will you
Tommy?
be in the ice tub tomorrow morning? Just tell us about that.
That was my goal. I told these guys a few weeks ago. I said, I'm going to find something that Tommy likes to talk about.
Tommy like wingy.
Yeah. If it's wings, cool.
You know what, Helen? That's where you and I got to come together.
Then I'll bring him down to Roosters and we'll talk about wings. But whatever it is that he likes, like, they play euchre in that house.
Do they really? I need to get that.
We need to go over there because I can play some euchre now.
Yeah, Cade and his girlfriend against Steele and Tommy. That's
That is awesome. They need to make that into a sitcom.
100%.
That poor girl.
I
Three
mean,
six-
Actually, they don't really
covered.
say much. I mean, when I'm at a euchre table, I'm always talking smack.
maybe she likes.
Those guys
Inside.
don't.
Maybe she can
Just
just
dead
talk
silence.
endlessly and like she's got 3 good listeners.
Yeah.
Here. Like, this is great. I'm in heaven. But whatever it is that he likes, I'm bound and determined. I'll write about anything.
I'll find out.
Within
for you.
reason.
I'll find within reason. So anything is big. It's very open.
It's open.
If he has some
Wide open
interest
barrel.
that I can't write about, then I won't do that. But I don't think that'll be the case. But whatever it is, if he loves women's hockey, then I'll write about that. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No, yeah, I walked up to that line and came back. Whatever it is, Nicole, I'm going to find out what it is. I want to know what their interests are. He's a human deep down.
I don't.
Maybe he might just.
Is he?
yeah.
Have you seen Westworld? I mean, he might be a robot. I'm not positive.
He is a tackling robot.
He is that.
I will give a Buckeye leaf to Jair Brown for getting pressed into the lineup.
Jeez. Who are these guys?
Yeah. We were watching. We expected, and I think Ohio State's coaching staff did as well, that Denzel Burke, he put on the huge club.
Good try.
He has a broken bone in his hand. Looked like he could go, but somebody decided, I don't know who did. The training staff said, no, don't do it. Or maybe it didn't feel right for Denzel.
It's tough. Like,
but yeah, you're not going to be able to do the things that you expect.
Just even the uncertainty. Like when you get hardware, people act like it's like going to fix your car. I'm like, it's a hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Like they pieced together his bones with like a piece of metal and like screwed them in there together. Like it feels weird. You don't feel secure. Like a week or 2 out of it, it feels a lot better. Now you still cast it and
So
everything.
he had surgery on it.
I believe so.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I mean, so they had to pin it. I mean, usually we have hands, you have to get that stuff taken care of. So it's like, hey, give it time. You don't need Denzel Burke. You didn't need him, obviously, in that game. You probably don't need him. Hopefully, you get Cam Brown back shortly. And if Mr. Herbie, Jordan Hancock can get healed up, then you feel good. But just having the top 3 dudes all down, like, Jair Brown, let's go, buddy. Jair, like, get on out here.
Well, Berm told me that Graham Mertz was good still, so I was
5-star.
I was concerned.
Ryan
Ryan
Day
Day
wanted him bad.
But so Jair Brown had to go out there. Short notice. He started. J.K. Johnson, both of those guys, the first starts of their career. But I think of those two, I just noticed Jair Brown doing more positive work out there. He got hit with the questionable pass interference or holding call, which had nothing to do with the throw that was coming his direction, but they called it. It's whatever. He bounced back, and it didn't impact the physical coverage.
I love that. I love that he focused on the next play because mentally, I feel like that can really, that can just.
And Ryan Day
weigh on
was
you.
very upset about the call out there on the field, getting his players back, which probably helps as well.
Here's the good news. I don't even know if they have anyone else to put in. It's like, take them out.
It's good to these guys get their experience. They get they get a Big Ten game. They get some experience because you're going to need them somewhere down the road.
It's a night game. I mean, next up is Berm's got. They're sliding Cam Martinez out there probably.
That's right.
That was we were watching the twos. All right, what's going to happen as they go through pregame? Ryan Turner, who got his black stripe off 3 days before, which was basically because Cam Brown and Denzel Burke couldn't
You
practice.
can't play with a black stripe in the game.
You can't. You're not allowed to.
Yeah, if we're putting you in, you got to take that off. Come
Bob,
over here real
you
quick.
wouldn't even be able to see it on that black lid.
Oh,
so
there you go.
It wouldn't have worked. He couldn't have been out there. But anyway, it was Cameron Martinez and Ryan Turner there with the twos, so that could have been even more interesting than it already was. But Jair Brown handled it well, got that really key breakup after the penalty early on, so he wasn't fazed by that, wasn't rattled. And clearly, Ohio State believes in what he can do. Now, might have an opportunity again on Saturday against Rutgers in a team that not going to blow anybody away with their passing attack. They are 41.5-point underdogs, Nicole.
Okay.
I'm going to let you think about this because Bob is going to tee it up first by saying this is one step closer to a bowl trip.
Hey,
Really is.
what happens then?
So, I mean, I don't know if you know this, but
Tell me about it.
Roosters Buckeye Bowl prize giveaway.
What?
A giveaway?
12 lucky winners, one selected every week, will receive a pair of tickets. So you and a friend or someone you don't even know, you get to pick.
Yeah.
Get 2 tickets to the Buckeye Bowl game, airfare,
What?
Deluxe.
hotel accommodations, a Roosters gift bag, some
What?
great swag. Plus,
Swag?
there's other
A
prizes
swag
you can
bag?
win.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
How do you sign up for this?
Well, you can either
What?
zoom in, QR code if you're at Roosters, or you can go to roosterswings.com and register there.
Man.
So
What?
we got 4. We're drawing the 4th winner, I believe.
Yes, today.
Today.
Wow.
And so there's still 8 opportunities, Nicole.
There are.
There are a lot of chances. 16 lucky people can
I know.
still do it.
I just met our week 3 winner today, and I told her, I was like, people really win. Like, this is a real thing.
We're not
So-
just
It
making
is
it
a
up.
real
I know.
thing, yes.
Everybody always thinks it's like, oh, I'll never win.
Yeah.
But
We have-
yeah, you just have to register.
And
And
that's
yeah,
the
we
stuff.
haven't even got to
Appetizer
this
Tuesday.
yet. Yeah, man.
It's Schleg's All-Star, if you will. The
Yeah.
mac and cheese
The
bag.
mac
It's
and
everybody's
cheese.
They're
all-star.
delicious.
It's the 5-star
Yeah.
Appetizer Tuesday.
Yes.
$2.
So named because Berm might
There
leave some.
there was a basket down here by me.
Oh, it's gone now?
It's gone.
What happened to it?
I don't know.
I made them all.
Somebody's
Wow.
Firm's
Lot of-
sitting pretty close to
a
you.
lot of
over
eyes down here sweating.
Really, really pulling the curtain back. Talking
Yeah. Jeez.
about how we film this. So
$2 all day long.
there. $2.
we've
Appetizer Tuesday.
covered those bases. Now the most important part. Nicole's gambling corner.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
41.5 is the spread for this game. Ohio State and Rutgers. A traditional Big Ten clash.
Oh, yeah.
Traditional.
3:30 p.m. in the Horse.
Mm.
I'm going 68-21.
68-21.
Mhm.
That's a lot of points for Rutgers, Nicole.
That is a lot of points. That's
It is, but hey, we said that for Toledo too, right?
Okay.
I think Toledo's offense might be better than Rutgers, though.
Yeah. But,
At least
Well,
sports.
Who are we?
Hey, who are we? She almost hit it last
Yeah.
week. I
who
mean,
are we to question Nicole? She,
Guys, I might be way off, but I'm just saying for right now, this is how I feel. This
Okay.
this is the score I'm going to stick with.
68-21.
68-21.
That's a lot.
Anything else on your mind?
I think that's it.
No.
This has been a great show, guys. Thank you.
There's
Mac
gotta
and
be.
cheese bites, Buckeye Bowl trip giveaway. I mean, those are some pretty exciting things.
Okay.
Columbus Blue Jacket season started
Hey,
yesterday.
they said there's
Oh, hey,
15,000 people at the exhibition game.
Really?
Yeah, it was packed.
You guys, guess what? I
can-
was shocked and didn't realize I was starting yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought the
And-
first game was Wednesday.
They already put 3 goals on the board.
I know they did.
And so I
Free
believe
chili.
you can come into this very location.
Yeah.
Or any
well,
around
today,
Columbus.
not tomorrow, but we
When
put
it
the
comes
show
up
out
on
today.
Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so,
Appetizer Tuesday that you can't get right now.
Right.
But
Mondays.
if you want to come in and say, hey, the Jackets put up 3.
Exactly. Then you just show the tweet from the Blue Jackets or the fact that we scored 3 goals and you get a free
Same.
bowl of chili.
Bring
Wow.
me that
And
chili,
now it's
please.
not a cup anymore, guys. It's a bowl.
Oh.
We don't have cups anymore. So it's a little perk. It's a little extra.
Hey,
Upgrade.
how about that? Getting the upgrade.
Just-
Deluxe
Yeah.
chili bowl.
Gonna-
So that's all
Exactly.
season long, 3 goals.
If they hit 3 goals, home games.
Home
Yes.
games.
Home games, 3
Mhm.
goals.
That's
41 opportunities.
That's going to happen with
A
the,
lot,
with the free
right?
Robbie,
visit.
I love how you know how many games so quickly off the top of your head.
Well, that
That's a long
doesn't
season.
count exhibition. So
No, so there's bonus opportunities.
Yeah.
Bonus.
Yeah,
bonus
we
chili.
go through preseason.
And especially you
preseason
get
for
some
sure.
you get some backup goalies getting work in
A lot of
Roosters
goals can
chili
be
is
scored.
surprisingly
Johnny
underrated.
Johnny
you
Hockey.
guys, it's
Everything is
phenomenal.
delicious here.
Our chili is really good.
Oh, my mom's
I love
been eating
the
it the
chili.
last couple of weeks.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Loves
We
it.
can add that to the order today.
Liberty and I went and checked on Saturday. Open practice. How many goals is this team going to score? Infinity. So I hope
Is that right?
I hope that there is a lot of chili because Johnny Hockey and Patrick Line,
We love it.
sky's the limit.
Can't wait.
That's
So
amazing.
everything is happening. Ohio State and Jackets back. Nicole's going to be busy.
I know. We have basketball season coming up.
Oh, jeez. Basketball, too?
Basketball media day.
Can you believe it?
Monday afternoon.
It's
Get
crazy.
excited for that. I
Hey,
know.
we have sports. Let's all be thankful
Yay,
for that.
sports.
I
You're
know,
right, yes.
I try to always remind myself of that.
October is one of the best sports months on the calendar.
Sneaky good.
Because football season?
Football, start of hockey,
So football?
mainly football. But yeah, of course.
I can handle playoff baseball, when you get, especially if the Guardians are playing.
Oh, you call them that?
Indians, tribe of Guardians. I
Yes,
don't know.
they're the Indians.
I have to. When I'm on the radio, I can't say that.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
Shark wears all his Indian gear though. So it's all
Good.
Throwback.
Yes,
That's-
throwback.
We've covered a lot of bases here. And we're not even close to
Hey.
done. Nicole's going to go back to work, and Berm's going to slide in here, and we're going to talk a lot more
He's gonna make the
about
chili.
Buckeyes. She's got to go make some chili and make sure that he didn't eat all the mac and cheese bites. But we're going to take a break here at Roosters in the Horseshoe Lounge. It's a fun, casual joint. Thanks to Nicole. We'll be right back.
Roosters has been so fortunate. We just want to be able to give some of that back to the community.
They donate to organizations that are near and dear to their heart, and we're so fortunate to have been with Roosters now for a long time.
They will always go above and beyond to help support our foundation to further help veterans.
It's just a wonderful feeling to know that Roosters supports the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer.
All the folks at Roosters are just genuinely kind folks, and they want to make a difference.
Thank you, Roosters Foundation.
Thank you, Roosters.
Thank you, Roosters.
Thank you, Roosters Foundation.
All right, welcome back into Roosters in the Horseshoe Lounge for the live show. Whatever we call it, a different thing every week. It seems like
it's always written up as the live show on the YouTubes and the internets. I have a question that maybe you guys can help me with here.
boy.
oh, he's been cooking.
It's
This
got to
one
be
up.
good.
Right as he gets in.
Why has chili been sort of given the title of hockey's official hot meal?
Well, because hockey's a cold weather
I
sport.
want poutine, and I want poutine now.
I don't even. What is poutine?
Yeah. You're gonna have to
Gravy
fill us
on
in.
fries and cheese curds. It's a delicacy.
Poutine is what you want if you're in Canada, for example, which is where hockey was born.
Well, we live in America,
Yeah, but we've
so
taken
we
it
have
over.
chili.
It's been so long since the Canadian
Yeah,
teams
then
won
we
the
should
cup.
bring the
It's
poutine
not-
with it.
It's
That's all
not
I'm
even
saying.
the national sport of Canada.
It's not? What
No.
is? Poutine?
Curling?
Making?
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse
No,
is
it's
really.
not.
It is 100%.
I
Get
thought,
out of here.
I thought
No
poutine
chance.
making.
It's
was
got to be hockey.
I thought it was Pootie Tang, like with Chris Rock.
No, that's actually a different thing.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Also delicious, but not quite the same.
America, you can't look it up about Canada. It's lacrosse. It's a great
That's
trivia question.
very surprising.
Do you think
I
that
feel like you
lacrosse?
could make a lot of money on that.
I've used it to win multiple trivia contests.
Do you think that lacrosse, Wisconsin's official sport is lacrosse?
Hockey.
It's got to
Well-
be hockey?
I mean, I'd like to look that up.
I'm telling you this, it's definitely not football because the Badgers that I saw
Yeah.
were not.
Nice.
I
segue.
swear, I
That
think
was
that,
a nice
I think
That's
that was
professional.
Indiana that
He knows what
dressed
he's
up in dressed up in Wisconsin's
A bunch
uniforms.
of Canadians.
Who was it that was getting blitzed by the Bearcats down in Cincinnati then?
Oh gosh, yeah, that's it's another Ball State. I don't know, someone else.
Well, Miami won this weekend, so it can't be them.
Somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't wear Adidas uniforms.
That's it.
Yeah, let's start there.
We can start there and finish there. Goodbye, everyone. You guys want a Buckeye leaf? It's
We
a
would
Mecca
love-
Abuka
We already gave ours.
Really? Why?
because
Tell us.
he's really good at football.
Yep.
Oh.
That's a thing.
That is the analysis you come here for. But no,
Huh.
you know what the thing he does is he's actually a super good blocker. And
She's strong.
when you have a receiver who, you have big guys like Julian and Marvin, and you look at them and you're like, that's the guy you want on the edge blocking. But Emeka is really like competitive, and you see him going out there, and that's something that Chris Olave did very well for being a smaller guy. And Emeka is a little bit thicker than Chris was, but man, he aside from the fact that he also touches the ball and scores pretty much every time he does it, but that's pretty good too. I just think that the Ohio State receivers, we talk a lot about them and the difference that they give for Ohio State on the field, but the one area we don't really talk about is their role in the pass block, in the run blocking game is special.
Because that involves competitive stamina.
Yeah, and you
Yes.
have to have that every play. It can't just be about when you're getting the ball that you're going to be interested in the game, right?
You know what Brian
100%.
Hartline would say if they did that next?
Yep.
You're
Get
out.
up.
Yeah. I think that
Xavier Johnson, you get in there. You
Yeah.
go catch a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think there's also some carryover. We've seen Ohio State run the football much better the last 2 weeks against two teams that we thought could potentially give them problems or slow them down. I think having Julian Fleming back out there involved as a blocker has a carryover effect. But I mean, aside from what we know that Cade Stover and Mitch Rossi and improving G. Scott can provide, but
Cade is slaying souls on the edge.
he's a murderer.
Yeah, I mean, that's a different ball game, though. These receivers typically don't love to go out there and get in it.
Brian's
But
do. 'cause
well,
Brian
I know
recruits
these
him and your boy
these
Devin-
receivers
him and your
do.
boy
And
Devin
I think
over
it
there.
started with Coach Hazel back in the day. You remember how many, like, they used to love getting cut blocks, and they would always circle them on the film the next day. Like, that's an attitude in that room, and that's what Brian's bringing to it with Devin, you know. And
back at Cinnaminson High in New Jersey. Daryl Hazel.
You don't have to call him Baby Devin, Jay-Z.
Well, you can just call him Devin. He's a man now.
He is a man. He's a grown man.
Defensively,
he's almost 40.
Defensively, my Buckeye Leaf goes to Joshua Proctor.
Big game.
I didn't know that you were getting.
Are we doing offense and defense?
I didn't know we were getting.
I sit here patiently thinking about all the extra work that I have to do to make this show pop.
You're stuffing your face with mac and cheese bites while we were talking. What are you talking about?
Oh, I wish we were. That's if I have one regret about this weekend in Ohio State playing Rutgers, is that it's in Columbus
not in
Piscataway, where I could actually go to stuff your face and get myself a sweet, sweet bowlie.
What is a bowlie?
What's a bowlie?
Stromboli. It's
okay.
You just shorten it up.
I've never.
Hey, buddy, forget about it.
Hey, give me a bowlie, please.
You sleep all weekend.
I'm gonna be honest. One of my buddies, his grandparents are Italian, like from Italy. His mom makes unbelievable Stromboli. I have never once heard her refer to it as a quote bowling.
You get kicked out of the house.
I don't have time to use those extra letters.
Out. Grandma just like out. Go.
They must use the other way. They call them Strombos.
Oh, Strombos.
Give me a Strombo.
That makes sense.
Ma, Strombo.
Some people call pop. Some people call it soda. Some people call them Strombos. Some people call them bowlies. I'm a bowlie guy.
I don't even know what's going on.
Hey, buddy.
You know what?
I actually don't regret it because that's the worst road trip out there. The food is worth it at the end, but we drive 9 hours to Piscataway, New Jersey,
to watch that
70-point beat
to watch a game that's over after 5 minutes.
How about when it's a night game?
Ooh.
How exciting is that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good atmosphere out there.
I think that they should
20,000 people in the stadium at night.
They should give those Minutemen that have to stand out there and never fire the cannon at whatever they're called. Like, I like to go down there in the fourth quarter, and they're just sitting there like they've got folding chairs. And they haven't done a single thing. All the powder's still dry. They should get a trip to come watch that here.
It's actually a pretty cool stadium, though. Like as far as like historic.
I've never been there. I've never been there. Memorial, Maryland, like any of the new ones, I've never been to.
No, you don't want to go to Maryland.
Don't want to go to Rutgers.
Yeah, sure you do. Rutgers, the stadium's pretty cool. It's historic. You know, I mean,
James always said it was in the middle of nowhere.
It is.
It's terrible.
It is.
And it's tough to get to.
No. It's not great to get there, but once you're there, you're like, hey, this is a cool little stadium.
No, you're not.
It's better than Northwestern. It's better than Maryland.
You also like break your.
I don't know.
Northwestern. Walk through that
you're like right there on the lake. You got some, sailboats.
Northwestern is like the worst high school field in Ohio.
Northwestern long grass.
They do like the long grass there.
Anyway, we should
It's
talk.
It's like the U.S. Open out there. You got the rough, nice
exactly. Yeah, they've been growing it up all week. Yeah,
I don't like it. I'm against it.
It's a quick flight or a short drive.
Yeah, there's really nothing bad. You're in Chicago. You can go to Northwestern.
Yeah, there's a lot of Buckeye fans.
Yeah, you know what was the best part? The last time Ohio State played at Northwestern, which we have to go back there this year, 2 things happened.
Wait, was that
the
backdoor cover?
That was the.
Ooh, that was. I remember that. The block punt.
That was in 13, I think.
Yeah, this was 2020.
Okay,
we went there last time.
There was no covering going on. That was like 56-0 at one point.
Was it 20? It was 2020, right?
No, 19.
2019.
There were fans there.
Okay, so 2019.
Only fans.
Justin Fields went to work on that.
2019, we go there, and it's a Friday night game. We're like, oh, pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, I remember this.
Yeah, but we leave campus at like 11 o'clock thinking, hey, we're going to get to go out in Evanston, cool college town. We got done with the game early. Everything was closed. We were like, where are we? Like, why are we not on a college campus?
Study.
And I was like, they're a bunch of nerds. They're a bunch of nerds.
Nerds.
You should have just went to the library. It's probably popping off there.
Like, we also, not only were there no bars that were open, you couldn't even go to a liquor store or a grocery store. Yeah, we finally got desperate.
You get drunk in your hotel room by yourself.
That's right. You know what? Let's go to the grocery store. The beer's sitting out, and I went, and Spencer was with me. So let's go check out. Let's go get these beers. And I'm like, sorry, sir. You can't buy those right now. Yeah. I'm like, why? We're at a grocery store. I can't get anywhere else. And we're not allowed to sell them after midnight. What?
We had to go to a gas
station. They don't give you
at
least to 1 o'clock? Like, at least in
we
Ohio,
we had to go to a gas station in a seedy part of Evanston. And, the night ended fine. Nobody
At least
died.
you could buy beer and meth.
Yeah. That's the two.
I don't know how we got onto road trips when Ohio State hasn't taken one yet, and they play Rutgers this week.
Well, because they play Rutgers this week, and
right.
they take a road trip next week to East Lansing, which is also one of the worst road trips you can possibly take. But I like that one because it's like a day trip.
It's quick. You can get in and out.
Bad up there.
You'll like this. Michigan State's a great story. Our junior year we played up there. That was when Ted had
Oh yeah,
he went crazy. It was like he had the skyline touchdowns all three ways.
Yeah.
Return, rushing, and then receiving. I think we only scored 21 points. I think that was all three of the touchdowns we got. But I forget what happened. We were delayed. We always had all kinds of travel issues getting in there. It's a much more smooth operation with Volt and Quinn Temple with the helm now. But I remember I was starving, and we had like an hour and a half till we got to eat. We're just sitting there in our room. And of course, they don't have the snack carts and all that stuff they have now the cornucopia of food to be able to eat. Yeah. So I remember I walked out of the hotel because we were staying kind of downtown, East Lansing. I walked down to a bar and got a chicken sandwich and ate it, and then walked back. Like, where were you? I was like, I don't know. There's this bar down the street. And like, you went into a bar? I'm like, I didn't drink. I mean, it's like 5 o'clock. I had my red
I only had one. I was waiting
for
the
sweats on.
Yeah, while you wait for the food to get made.
I was waiting for the food to get out. I mean, I had a beer, but I mean, nothing crazy.
Just one ice cold.
I was like, what are you going to do? I go, you're not giving me any food, so I went and bought food myself.
Per diem, you got that per diem and went down and got it.
Okay.
Teddy roomed with me that game. That's why he had such a good.
Oh,
yeah. I had him mentally going. Yeah,
tip sheet.
And didn't they not have hot water in the showers that game? Northwestern. Speaking of road games, that's a road game. One of the worst locker. I don't know if they've upgraded it.
Northwesterns.
I sincerely doubt it.
One of the worst road locker rooms you'll find. Michigan State big, but it was like really cold. Well, I think they had like a 20-gallon hot water tank for the whole team. So literally it was gone quickly.
Michigan State did upgrade, and
Troy got a hot shower.
Yeah,
I didn't get a hot shower.
They're like, Jason,
I vividly remember being like,
I had to wear my pads home. They're like, just get on the bus.
Jason, just wait till you get home.
Just get on the bus. Here you go.
Anyway,
Ohio State. JT, just wait till you get home.
They do play Rutgers on Saturday.
Yes, they do.
Is their quarterback? Who's their
They're playing multiple guys.
They're playing their third string quarterback.
Who's the starter that got hurt?
Vedral, and then they had.
That's right.
He was there last year.
Yep. And then they have Gavin Wimsett, who's actually a highly recruited 4-star quarterback.
Or Gavin Rosdale. Now that I could get behind. He's got a machine head.
Yeah, but that doesn't help at quarterback. You actually need a human head.
No.
At that
machine arm?
I don't remember. The guy's name is Simon something. I think Simon something, or Simon might be his first name.
Simon something. He is a baller.
It may be
balling out at Rutgers.
It may be his first or last name, but one of them Simon. I know that he threw for 300 yards last week against Iowa, but he only has thrown for like 412 all season.
How did he throw for 300?
He threw the ball 50 times.
Oh, that's right.
He also threw 2 pick sixes.
He threw the ball. They're not good at all on offense. And
they beat Boston College.
Can I tell a funny
story? They ran all over them that day. They had 200-some yards rushing, didn't they?
212, I want to say.
Boston College, coincidentally, is bad.
Jeff Hafley is in trouble. He needs an escape hatch.
They are not good. They have gotten worse, and that's not good. Or anyway.
It's only his second.
I mean, it's not good.
Third year.
So can I tell a funny story?
Yes, you can.
This is the Elite 11.
Better be funny.
The Elite 11 in 2021.
Yep, off to a bad start.
We were out in California. All the buzz there is about Quinn Ewers and all these other,
who's that?
Devin Browns, all these guys are out there, right? And then there's Gavin Wimsett, who's a 4-star quarterback from Kentucky, who was highly recruited. I mean, this is for Greg Schiano to pull him to Rutgers is a big deal. And we're out there, and C.J. Stroud's out there, a couple other guys are out there, and C.J. was talking to Gavin Wimsett. And Gavin says he's committed to Rutgers, and C.J. goes, "Why?" And they're like, and he's like, I like Rutgers. He's like, doesn't matter. It's never going to happen there. Don't go.
It's not going to happen. Anywhere else, you could have a chance.
But kudos, Gavin Wimsett. I'm sticking with my word.
They had like a top 40 recruiting class.
And
it was the best one they'd ever had.
You have an opportunity to get on the field early. Unfortunately, he's hurt, and that changes the offense. He's at least a two-dimensional guy. He can move around a little bit. He's a good athlete. I like
three-dimensional. You would like a three-dimensional quarterback with a human head. Not two-dimensional with a machine head.
Yes. We're building the perfect quarterback.
That's what you need.
We're building the perfect
Let's
quarterback.
start with a human body and a human mind.
Yeah.
And 3 dimensions.
Yeah, whatever. He's a guy that does different
That's what
things.
C.J. Stroud does really well.
Yes.
Just have a human body.
Yes.
That's 3-dimensional.
But he doesn't run. So, anyway, Gavin Wimsett.
CJ could have rushed for 140 yards yesterday.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Rutgers, I'm going to make a bold prediction. Can I make a bold prediction?
Sure, yeah.
It's Monday, though, and then normally we do that on Friday.
You do you.
But I want to say, Rutgers is going to return a kick for a touchdown against Ohio State on Saturday.
when you get 11 opportunities,
Exactly. You
These
have
guys are going to be tired running down there.
You have a number of
Kick it out of the end zone this time, please. I don't want to sprint down.
Aaron Cruikshank, the punt returner,
I
kick
like
returner,
Cruikshank.
is a really good player. Is a Wisconsin transfer.
I was going to say, I thought he was at Wisconsin.
He's from Erasmus Hall, where Curtis Samuel and Matthew Jones played. Like, he's a good player. He
the
wanted
fact that you know that.
he wanted to go back home to New York and
Dialed in, man.
Well, I knew he goes there.
Cruikshank's a good player, and the Buckeyes, because of the secondary depth and issues there, the special
What do you
teams.
mean?
Special teams actually takes a hit when that happens.
Yeah, because you're pulling those guys off of there.
And Saturday night against Wisconsin, we mentioned this on the podcast daily on Monday, he was a little leaky on kick returns. And your guy like Cruikshank will make you pay for that. So I think they're going to – and that's like the one area of the Wisconsin team that Greg Schiano's always got coached up pretty well, especially.
You know what's
Well,
amazing?
he usually doesn't coach special teams at Wisconsin.
Rutgers.
I know.
I don't believe in Wisconsin.
Here's the thing. When you're bad,
As
you
a
usually have
matter
a
of
pretty good
principle.
kickoff return because you get up a lot of touchdowns.
Get a
You
lot of
get a
reps.
lot of reps at it.
Yes.
You know?
So does that explain why Ohio State can't do it?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing when you don't get many opportunities.
Maybe we were enamored by the intrigue of putting a linebacker back there to return kicks.
There's two lines. The three guys that are back.
Turns out that
it's
wasn't
a
a
mecca-
Maybe not the best.
Dude, Chip can fly though, man.
I know,
He's
but-
so listen.
Got to
He
catch
also
that ball
dropped it.
first.
the ball.
Yeah, well, okay. Just
That
keep-
game could have got pretty squirrely.
I looked back there and I'm like,
It would have started
I practiced
differently.
on Thursday. I go, you have a Mecca on one side, Steele on the other, and Chip. I go, two of these guys are actually listed as linebackers.
Yes, that's insane.
I understand they used to play running back, and Chip is super fast. But I'm like, if I'm another team and I was just dropped out of the sky and didn't know anything, you got two linebackers.
What are they doing? They got linebackers back here?
You know what I'd like
On
to see
kickoff?
is Ohio State do some Greg Schiano stuff to Greg Schiano on Saturday. Let Emeka
like
catch the kick
hit a
return.
bicyclist. I like Greg.
That's. I don't think you're.
That's factually accurate.
I don't think you're allowed to do
Factually
that
accurate.
during the game.
Oh,
I thought maybe
I mean, it's frowned upon.
Just turning into the stadium.
It's frowned upon at most times of the day, but
I
yes.
like Greg.
I guess you're not really allowed to do it.
Yes, I mean it's frowned upon. Yeah, I mean,
When that happened, everybody shredded him. I go, listen, I've poured into the Woody a lot early in the morning, and if someone was driving, I'd turn aimlessly there. If there's no lights, I could easily see myself picking off some kid on a bike.
Oh my! So what I was going
It
to
was
say,
okay, Justin. No one died.
nobody died.
Hey, kid, what are you doing?
Yeah,
on
I
your
was-
bike
Get
at
up,
6 in the
yeah. What are
morning?
you doing out
This
here?
is football coaching hours.
Yes.
Get off the road.
Gotta get a flashlight on the head. Yeah, let people know you're there.
Get out of here.
Jeez,
Hey, that
jeez.
that
Shadow
happened.
Really packed some interesting
Why do you acting,
stories.
Bernie? You acting like I'm a bad guy for making light of the situation.
No, I just feel like that's one of those things like we just don't talk about.
It happened.
It's now been talked about.
It just doesn't get talked about, and probably
Maybe
for
we
good
probably
reason.
should
Anyway,
more. I
What I
don't
was
know.
going to say is that I want
Didn't kill him.
I want Emeka Ibuka to catch
Come
the
back up.
kick and then like do a reverse and give it to Chip because it seems like
You
Chip
gotta catch a form.
Have him just stand right next to
Like,
him. Here you go.
skip a step, like that may be the part of the process he's struggling with. Let's have Emeka help him there and then hand it off, right? Can I tell you guys a story about me getting hit?
Oh, I
Oh
can't
my
wait
goodness!
for that. Yeah.
So Saturday night, I'm driving home from the game as I want to do after a night game. I'm a little amped up after a game. I don't like to stay in town. I've got all this energy. I want to drive home, get home, right? So I'm on my way. I'm there.
So you
Like,
drove late home after the night game.
Yeah,
He does,
I always
yeah.
do.
You are a psychopath.
He's a sicko.
So
you are. You might hit a cyclist.
No, so it's 4 a.m.
He's claiming.
feel like he might have hit somebody else. I don't
now
know.
we know.
Yeah.
It's 4
It's cycling
a.m.
hours.
Like in the office.
It was after a night game and Berm's over by the Woody just running people over.
Michael said he had a speed bump on the highway the other day.
Yeah.
How many other people?
I wonder,
see it?
yeah.
How many other people has he murdered?
No, so it's 4 a.m. I get off the expressway. So I finally make it to my exit, right? So I'm 140 miles.
Wait,
So
now
you're in
they're-
Michigan.
Now they're calling that an expressway.
So you're in
That's
Michigan.
what I've always called it. I'm
Not a highway.
Is it a highway?
Highway or interstate are
I
acceptable
call it-
answers.
yeah.
Expressway.
Expressway.
I don't think semantics are that important here. I
It is.
almost
Are you on a
died.
toll road or what?
That's what people in New York who don't drive cars call highways.
Yeah,
I only hop on the expressway.
I'm on the expressway here.
That's what I call it.
Suburban Toledo
Expressway 75 north.
across the Michigan Maginot line is not an expressway.
You guys can call it whatever you want. I'm not here to tell you how to live your lives.
You said the
We're
story
here to
with-
tell you how to
So
live.
I
You
get
said
on-
it.
It was a
Stop
funny
calling it an
story.
expressway.
I get off of the expressway and
like a liter of cola.
like a goddamn liter of cola. I get
for a
off.
cop.
I get off.
Oh Lord.
Don't spit in that
A
cop's
liter
burger.
of cola. So I was drinking his liter of cola on my way home on the expressway.
You have the mustache from
I
that
do
movie.
have that, fair.
So, boy, it is definitely Rutgers week. We haven't talked about football in like 15 minutes.
I get off the road.
But it's a funny story.
I turn onto my exit, right? So I'm 3.5 minutes from home.
That's
finally.
where most
It's
accidents
4
happen.
It's 4 a.m. I'm ready. Thankfully, it's 4 a.m.
You're
I'm not,
so amped up,
I'm not
you're
doing
going
anything
fast.
dumb like looking at my phone or anything else. It's silence. I see these stupid
don't listen to the
beady
radio?
headlights or eyeballs looking at me. And I'm like, what is this deer doing? And this deer just takes off into the middle of the road, like running square at me.
This is Tommy Boy.
And so thankfully, I'm on a 2-lane road at this point. Thankfully, it's 4 a.m. and there's nobody coming. So I had to like yank the car, and he just bounces off of my car. He just caroms off of my passenger side door. Got a body dent there, but he's fine, I guess. There was no deer on the road. And so I just finished
Are
going
you
home.
sure that
Those
you
Michigan
weren't
deer are
imagining
different.
that and it wasn't like a
No,
car or
no, I
something?
have the dents to
Is it-
prove it.
I know you guys like
it
to
the
do those
shape of
road
a-
beer shows. I mean, did you have
Is it the shape of a bicycle helmet?
It was 4 in the morning. So if there's
some
a
training wheel?
if there is a
on the car?
bicyclist riding along Stearns Road in Michigan at 4 a.m., where there are no sidewalks, by the way, it's a very dangerous, stretch of pavement, then he deserved it. And
Can't be riding bikes on the expressway.
don't do
Hit a
that.
deer. Actually, a deer hit
Deer
you.
hit you.
It's like he had a death wish. I think he was like,
Should have
like
just.
he had the money line in Wisconsin or something. He's like, I'm over this. And like he just
I don't want to be
he
here
stared at
anymore.
me and just straight up sprinted at my car.
and you moved first, so
And
you
I-
lost.
You blinked.
That deer beat you.
Game of chicken.
You
Yep.
flinched.
You flinched.
You have to marry your mother-in-law.
My gosh. He admitted it.
He admitted it.
This is
Anyway,
really going off.
That was a funny story, though.
So-
I will give you that.
No, that one wasn't the funny story.
Oh, that
See
wasn't
this
it?
one. No,
Oh.
that was just a story.
Oh.
JZ, what does
What's your score prediction?
what does
for
Ohio
Saturday?
State have to? What question do you still have about the Buckeyes after 4 weeks?
Who's our punter? No,
Jesse-
he did punt
Jesse
one, and he had a nice one.
Your guy Jaden Ballard got in a little trouble late in the fourth quarter because they perfectly dropped one inside the 5. He's fielding it on the run over his shoulder, and instead of dropping it, throwing it over his head, doing anything with it, he just runs right into the end zone.
Baby Jaden.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that
Baby Jaden.
Right. He came over and Heartline's
Was
like,
not
"What are
ideal."
you doing? Just throw it anywhere." He ran right into the end zone.
he's just so fast. It's hard for him to put on the brakes
Okay.
and stop.
So,
But,
who is the punter? Well, Jesse Murko's actually been pretty good.
no, I know. I was just teasing. Just because we haven't had to use him much. I mean, he hasn't.
You score when you score on your first 5 possessions.
Yeah, I mean,
First 7 the week
7.
before.
Yeah, I mean it's like
I feel like the offense. Any questions we thought there may be coming, after the first game or two, have been answered.
Yeah.
They look to be just out of control. I don't really know what answers we need.
Finished
Or
product.
questions we have answers that we need.
JZ is satisfied. Bob?
I don't think there's any questions that you can have that will be answered with the remainder of the
Rutgers.
schedule. Well, definitely by Rutgers, but maybe even with the remainder of the schedule. Defensively, everything looks good. I mean, guys are flying around fast. I mean, you really give up 14 points, you sub out, and boom, Allen. It's a home
Everybody's
run.
complaining, why are the starters still in? And then you get a long one, and they're like, well, that's
Get 'em
why
back
the
in, get 'em
starters.
back in there.
Yeah, it's like that's why the starters are in.
I teased it up to 31. I
Exactly.
mean, so that's so that's kind of it. But I mean, give up against the Wisconsin team in essence 14 points. You're dominant. I mean, you have your 4th and 5th defense corners on the field.
Yeah.
Lathan Ransom didn't play.
Right.
You brought back Tanner and Proc. They're both back. They both have really good games. I mean, I don't know what else there really is. You can say, hey, they can't do offensively. Oh, maybe they're struggling running the ball, and then they're opening up holes that. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
That a deer could run through.
A deer could
That a
run through.
deer could
I'm
run
going to say
Deer
tell you
makes
this.
its own hole.
Ryan, don't think that Ryan didn't have that game plan against Wisconsin for a reason. Like they talk about being tough and this is all these things and competitive stem. We're just gonna go. We'll run it on them. We'll run it down there. Like he has a little troll in him when it comes to like beating teams a certain way. Like if you think you can beat us that way, we're going to take that and then take it back.
turn
to
it
you.
right around us.
We don't even need to really throw them. We'll throw to 4 guys and just run it down your face.
Especially if like Wisconsin, lineman recruits are watching.
Yes. They
There's
talk
a
about
big
tough
one there.
road grade,
Right?
yeah.
Hey.
I one question I had going into the Wisconsin game was whether or not the offensive line could be great. They were great on Saturday, for sure. I still have some concern about tackling a little bit. There's some guys are a little sloppy in tackling technique. Steele leaves his feet a lot, and I don't know that that's what you want to do if you're playing in the backfield. Like, I think you should just break down and tackle a guy. That's one thing for me. I'm looking ahead to like Penn State, right? That's the next one that
it'll be a challenge.
And I am concerned a little bit about the defensive line, and they're playing fine. Like, especially the starters are playing good, especially pressuring the quarterback. I don't care if they get sacks; it doesn't matter. Yeah. How will they compete and play against a running back like Nick Singleton at Penn State, who's an elite level running back? How do you impact the game there? I still want to see the defensive line take over a game, and that hasn't happened yet.
Interesting.
That's the one area.
Mike Hall did a pretty good job.
He's played great. Obviously, there's individuals who are playing at a high level. Teron Vincent's been playing really well. I mean, JT Tuimoloau has been playing very well. Jack Sawyer in spaces. I think Zach Harrison continues to get a bad rap from fans. You don't hear his name a lot, but he's constantly pressuring the quarterback.
Yeah, he's been getting pressure.
I just want to see those guys do it consistently. And even Saturday, if we go back to the middle part of that third quarter, I think that Braylon Allen had like 65 yards until the middle part of the third quarter when the second team, third team defensive line.
If you take that out, I think they averaged at 34 rushes for like 120. It was like 3.5 a carry if you take out the 75.
I'm not even talking just about that.
Pretty good little back too.
Yeah.
I'm not even just talking about that run. There was Wisconsin had like a 16-play drive to score at the middle part of the third quarter, and that was all on the backup defensive lineman. And so again, my concern is if something happens to one of those main guys,
keep them healthy, Berm.
Well, yeah, that's great. Come on, Mick.
Yeah,
elite training.
But if something happens to one of those guys, that depth at the defensive line, which we kind of thought that was a strength heading into this year, I don't know that it is right now, and that would be a concern for me.
Mike Hall is already commanding a ton of attention, though. You can see Wisconsin's like, we can't let this happen. And Mike Hall only made 2 tackles in that game. I still thought he was really impactful because
it's a defensive line. It's about disruption.
And obviously,
Tommy's probably not making 14 tackles if.
100%.
I don't need you as a defense. Sacks are great, but there's a lot of times where you can be the best dude on the field and you don't ever get any of the production because the quarterback's moving around, eating up this. Like, if you can watch the film. Yep, that guy's. I want that guy on my team. I don't care if he had 30 sacks or 3. This is the dude because
they're
he is
triple teaming him every time and
changing the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't think sacks are really, especially defensive line sacks, are really a part of college football anymore. I really don't. Michigan has had like one since the first week of the season. Wisconsin does not have a single defensive line sack this year. Ohio State is not getting many. I mean, we've seen Michael Hall get in there a few times, but it's basically been linebackers and stuff like that. I just don't think it's a huge part of the game.
Did Sawyer have one?
Sawyer had one, but he was playing the Jacks.
Yeah, he came around.
That was like on a long play. It wasn't
got credit
like
for a second. The defensive line has 6 through 4. So I checked on that this morning.
But
it seemed like there was a lot of them that are just slipping through their fingers.
And then there's cornerback play. Obviously, not cornerback play as much as cornerback depth.
Players being available.
Yeah, so I mean, those are the only questions in my mind.
Jay-Z, we got Nicole's score. It's your turn.
1,000 to nothing.
Oh,
no.
1,000. Wow, I've never taken it to that level.
Hey, I do think
it seems like it's too high.
I do think they get to 84.
84.
84 to 10.
Jeez, that's a lot of touchdowns.
It's going to be a long afternoon.
You have to literally score a touchdown it's 12 possessions, dude. I mean,
we could have got 80 against Toledo.
I think
we're so good at math.
We could have.
I know, but it's.
I mean, it wouldn't been that. It wouldn't been like we were.
Who was it?
Piling on either. Just like this is football. This is how it goes. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna say. I think Ryan. I don't think there's any bad blood between him and
You were just going to go right to my point.
He called the dogs off the last time.
Greg Schiano.
It was 28-0 in the first quarter.
Greg Schiano,
and I'm like, I'm actually going to get it.
Vitally important to Ryan Day's development.
Like, I'm there.
Especially in 2018, those first 3 games when Ryan was coaching in Urban's place. Greg Schiano was as instrumental to him as Kevin Wilson has been. There is a lot of respect for Greg Schiano. Maybe some of it shuffled off this mortal coil when he went to Rutgers, but I don't think that he's lost it entirely.
No, I don't. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think he's run it over.
Exactly.
It's shuffled off the mortal coil and moved to Piscataway.
I would say, I think he'll go hard early on. I'm guessing 63 is a lot. Can we get maybe a 54, like 13?
54.
But I feel like it'll probably end up being like 35-0 at one point in the first half, and then just.
Well, that's just all about how many long ones get broke in the second half. Running the ball.
I don't give a score prediction today, but I'll say this: I think that how high Ohio
What are
State,
you, Kirk Herbstreit?
how many points Ohio State scores on Saturday is going to be directly related to how much crap Greg Schiano tries to do to keep them in the game when it's clearly over.
Trick plays.
In 2020, the Buckeyes were up like 35-0, and then Schiano started pulling out all these trick plays that just were annoying.
Don't try to make it look better.
Like if it's over, it's over. Wisconsin did a great job of that on Saturday. Like, okay, they punted down 21-0, and they're like, all right, we can pretty much just pack it up and go home. If Greg Schiano wants to play that game on Saturday, then Ryan
calling timeouts, burning just
Ryan
let's
Day
let us get out of
Ryan
here.
Day will play that game and put up 70 points.
I want to go hang out with Nina.
84.
98.
That was who was it that scored 98 points?
They played Warren.
Yeah,
which I had never heard of. Sanford.
It was
shoot.
Some team that does
James Madison.
It was something like that.
It was
like
one of
a
those
president's
teams.
school or something.
Yeah.
But they could have
98.
Sam Houston State.
They could have. They took a knee on the 2-point.
Not a
they
president.
could have done 100.
I didn't see that part.
on.
They took a knee on the 2-point.
That's Ryan Day would never. I don't think they'll get to 100 though. I think they'll get to 98 and then
That's what
pop
they did
around.
against Michigan State. I mean, Mel got that big deal, throttle down, 7 touchdowns the first half, and then
That's what Ryan Day was really doing. He was like, let's let Michigan State get the DocuSign in the locker room, make sure that he's locked in. We want to keep playing Mel Tucker.
Yes.
Let him keep that deal.
I think the relationship with Greg is real, and no need to go in there
there's
and
that.
hang 77 on him.
And Greg's in a tough spot. Like, you're trying to promote a program and build a program and say, we know we're not Ohio State, but we still want to be better.
To beat Boston College.
You still want to be, you're in Purgatory, New Jersey. Like, you have to find some way to make
but
people
they
want to
got
go there.
the Bullies or whatever you were talking about.
Strombos.
Now
the
he's
Strombos.
He's calling it
They're
Purgatory.
delicious.
He's just saying how much he enjoyed visiting there.
He wanted to go.
Purgatory has great food.
I heard he might just go to a game out there this year just to check it out.
They might want to rename it then and make it more appealing. Yeah. Anyway, that's on Saturday.
New Funzwick.
New Funzwick. Wow.
I think we've reached the end of our journey here in this one.
Gosh darn liter of cola.
Sorry for one of the weirdest shows that we've ever done in the Horseshoe Lounge, but it's Rutgers week. That's what we're trying to spice it up a little bit.
My birthday's Saturday.
Hey.
So I need Ohio State will obviously win.
What's
is that why you're not giving a score?
What's Cam
'Cause it's your
getting? What's
birthday?
Cam getting you for
I don't
your
know. It's a
birthday?
great question. That's a great question.
Has he RSVP'd to your party yet?
America, here's what you need to do this week. We need you to go on the internet, find whatever your favorite Buckeye player is, and suggest to them birthday presents for me for Saturday's game. That's it.
Please don't do that, America. But if you would like to wish Berm a comment, a birthday wish, make a comment down below or find him. He's
It's not
at
till
Berm.
Saturday, so there's plenty of time.
It's
ahead.
birthday week for Berm, so we'll all celebrate it, and then we'll go cover one of the worst matchups in the Big Ten on Saturday.
A classic rivalry.
Classic rivalry.
The rivalry of
Classic
David
Big
and
Ten
Goliath.
East rivalry.
The best team in the Big Ten against the worst program in the Big Ten. The one that shouldn't even be part of it. But whatever. I guess they can prove me wrong on Saturday.
A lot of people.
Don't you besmirch Nebraska.
These
They've
are
been
the two
working hard.
teams-
Yeah, they've been working hard to be at the bottom of the Big Ten.
These are the two teams that don't belong in the Big Ten.
Wow.
Hey, Maryland was doing their best on Saturday to prove
They
they
tried.
belonged.
They gave that game away.
What an interesting statement Berm just made. I'm going to be thinking about it all week. That's Jay-Z. Bob, Berm, we appreciate Nicole Cox for having us in here. As always, Roosters, it's a fun, casual joint. This has been the E-Live show, as Berm is calling it, also in the Horseshoe Lounge. It's got a lot of names.
A lot of names.
We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you back here next Monday.